Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a massive book haul to show you. I have this pile of books and I have this pile of books to show you. I did go a bit crazy on buying books. For November I'm putting myself on a book buying ban because I have so many books to read now and I really need to not buy any more. I wanted to show you the books that I bought because I'm very excited about them. I'm just going to jump right on into it because I have so many to get through, and yes, I'm just going to jump straight into it. The first two books I bought were A Court of Frost and Starlight and A Court of Silver Flames. If you have watched my weekly reading vlog, you will know that I bought these two. These are the fourth and fifth book in the ACOTAR series, and I am currently on page 128 of A Court of Frost and Starlight. I'm going to be completely honest with you, I'm finding this one a little bit boring. A lot of people have said it's just like a Christmas filler book, and I get those vibes. Like, nothing's really happening. It's nice to read more about them, but it's just a bit boring. But I'm very excited to start this one. It's from Nesta's point of view, I believe, which will be really interesting because we haven't heard much from Nesta. So I'm very excited to read this one. For the other books, I'm going to read the blurbs just so you know what they're about. I'm not going to read the blurbs of these two because they are the fourth and fifth book, and I don't want to read them in case people haven't read the other books and they will give away spoilers. So the next book I got was The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. This is my local Waterstones book for their November book club, and I'm gonna try and be really brave and go to the November book club, so I thought I should probably read the book. This has been on my wish list for a while anyway, but since it's their book club read, I picked it up. In 1972, when workers in Pottstown, Pennsylvania were digging the foundations for a new development, the last thing they expected to find was a skeleton at the bottom of a well. Who the skeleton was and how it got there were two of the long-held secrets kept by the residents of Chicken Hill, the diplomatic neighbourhood where Jewish immigrants and African Americans lived side by side through the 1920s and 30s. In this novel, The Small Town Secrets and the People Who Keep Them, James McBride shows us that even in dark times, it is love and community, heaven and earth, that sustain us. And this just sounds really good. I'm very excited to read it. I think it's gonna pull on my heart, and I think it's gonna invoke a lot of emotions. There is a fly in here, and it won't leave me alone. The next book I bought was Powerless. I have seen so many good things about this all over TikTok, so this is a TikTok made me buy it book. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilya and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Payden Gray, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. When she unsuspectedly saves one of Ilya's princes, Kai Azza, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will when he discovers that Payden is completely ordinary. This sounds so good. I have seen a lot of people compare it to The Hunger Games and say that it's just The Hunger Games repackaged. I don't mind that, as long as the similarities aren't too obvious, and it does feel like a rip-off, but so as long as the similarities aren't too obvious, I'm sure I will love this book. I just realised I bought two copies of the same book. I bought a copy of If Only I Had Told Her on Amazon, and then I went into Waterstones and was like, I need to buy the other one of this series because I believe the other one is the first book. This is the second book, if I'm thinking correctly. I've just realised I picked up the exact same one. I am an idiot. So now I have two copies of these, so I might do a giveaway and give this one away. I can't believe I did that. Yeah, so that's annoying. We went to a few charity shops yesterday and I picked up Songbirds. This was only like £1, I think. or maybe 150. Nisha has crossed oceans to give her child a future. By day she cares for Petra's daughter, at night she mothers her own little girl by the light of a phone. One day Nisha vanishes. No one cares about the disappearance of a domestic worker except Petra and Nisha's lover Yanis. As they set out to search for her, they realise how little they know about Nisha. What they uncover will change them both forever. It just sounds really good. I feel like this is going to be another one that pulls at my heartstrings. But I'm really excited to read it. Another book I bought from Waterstones was The Glass Girl. This is by the author of Girl in Pieces. Bella is at breaking point. Everyone in her life needs something from her, and there's only one thing that dulls the pain. Alcohol smooths the sharp edges and makes it so much easier. When Bella drinks, she doesn't feel heartbroken over her ex or caught in the middle of her parents' divorce. But one night changes everything. When she awakes in hospital with no memory of what happened, it's time to face reality. And for Bella, that means rehab and a bumpy road to recovery. This sounds so good, and I love books like this that explore mental illness and addiction. I love how like raw those type of books usually are, so I'm really hoping that I'm gonna love this one. I also picked up The Inheritance Games. Avery has a plan: keep her head down, work hard for a better future. Then an eccentric billionaire dies, leaving her almost his entire fortune, but no one, least of all Avery, knows why. Now she must move into the mansion she's inherited. It's filled with secrets and codes, and the old man's surviving relatives, a family hell-bent on discovering why Avy's got their money. And she is caught in a deadly game that everyone in this strange family is playing, but just how far will they go to keep their fortune? I've seen so much about this book, and I've seen so much love for it, and I really love the idea of the book. I think it's going to be really interesting, and I'm excited to read it. I bought The Witcher, Time of Contentment. I didn't realise this is, I believe, the third in the series, so I'm not reading the back of this one because I don't want to spoil anything for myself, but it does mean I'm going to have to go back and buy the first two books. Yeah, I bought this one, but I need to buy the first two books. And speaking of buying books in the middle of a series, I found Unravel Me and Restore Me in the charity shop. They were 2 for £1, so I felt like I couldn't leave them. These are part of the Shatter Me series. I do have Shatter Me upstairs. At least I do have the first book. But this is, I believe, the third and the fifth, maybe? I can't remember. But these are part of the series, and I'm really excited to read Shatter Me because once ACOTAR is over, I will be looking for a new series to start, and I think I might go in with Shatter Me. So many people say these books are amazing. Some people say they're not so great. So I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about them. Hopefully I like it because there are, I think, 9 books in the series. It's a big commitment, 9 books. So hopefully I like them. He went into the works and I picked up Belladonna. In it, Signa is the main character, I believe, and she is orphaned as a child, and she goes to stay with some relatives, and a spirit appears who says that she has been poisoned, and one thing leads to another, and Signa makes a deal with Death himself, makes an alliance with Death himself. I love when books involve Death as a entity that you can talk to and make bargains with, and I'm really excited to read this book because I love that concept, and I love it when Death is a character. Then picked up The Dark Window. This one I've seen so many good things about. I don't actually think I've seen one person say a bad word about this book. Actually, that's a lie. I did see on TikTok earlier one person say they found it a bit boring, but I haven't really seen much bad things about this book. I believe it's part of a duology. I'm not sure if a third book is coming out or not, but at the moment there are 2 books in the series. This book seems to be about a girl who has this like monster inside of her, and he helps her keep all her secrets, but as there's a town that is being infected by dark magic, and as that happens she feels like the monster inside of her is taking over. That's kind of all I know about this book. When I bought it yesterday in Waterstones, the person serving me said that he adored this book, and he was like, you will love it. I love talking to the people in Waterstones, and we were talking about all the books that we like, and I was talking about how I'm reading ACOTAR at the moment and he hasn't read it yet. So yeah, he highly recommended this book. On Amazon a few days ago, I bought The Serpent and the Wings of the Night. This one I actually know nothing about. I just really like the cover and the title. So I'm going to read the back now, and it's the first time I've actually read the back. The adopted human daughter of the Nightborn vampire king Oriya carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is to enter the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy amongst the most vicious warriors from all three vampire houses. To survive, Oriya will be forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Raihan is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Oriya most of all is that she finds herself strangely drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari, and nothing more deadlier than love. This sounds so good. Have death as a entity, as a character. I love that. I really enjoy reading stories about death being a character in a book. When we were in the charity shop, I found A Terrible Kindness, and I did actually read half of this book last year, but I did DNF. I just found it a little bit boring. I wasn't overly enthused by it. I wasn't overly enjoying it, but so many people have told me to try it again and stick with it because it is such a good book. I had it on my Kindle app last time and I deleted it, so I don't actually have a copy of it anymore. I saw this for £2 in the charity shop, and so I picked this one up. I then bought The Stolen Heir on Amazon. It's a Holly Black book. I haven't actually read any of Holly Black's work. I do have a copy of The Cruel Prince that is on my TBR. So this will be added to my TBR as well. I believe this one is actually like the 4th book in the series. So I'm not going to read the back of this one because I don't want to ruin anything for me. Then bought Fourth Wing, which everyone is talking about at the moment. I am seeing it all over TikTok and Instagram. Everyone is loving this book. I love an enemies to lovers, and apparently there is enemies to lovers in this book. So I'm very excited to read this one. And the last book I bought was Butter. This one has been on my wish list since it came out. I am so intrigued by this book. It's about a woman who is in prison for killing men, and the way she does it is she entices men in with her cooking and then kills them, and she won't speak to any journalists. However, a journalist approaches her and they find a love for cooking together, and she's starting to realise that she might be a bit more like her than she thought. I'm just really excited to see where this book goes. And it was in the buy one get one half price, so I was like, when I saw that, I was like, I'm gonna grab that one. So I'm really, really excited to read this book. I think this will be a 5-star, if I'm honest. Just from what I've read about it, what I've heard about it, I think this one will be a very good read. These were all my books. I'm really excited to read them. So many of these are highly anticipated for me. And yeah. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and comment and like. It would mean a lot to me. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them. And I will see you again soon. Bye!